So this will be a market analysis video. So first we'll begin with the euro dollar. So if we scale over here now, and as we can see, let's just have a look what happened in the past. So we saw the continued sell-off to the downside of euro dollar. We came pretty close to this 1910, not quite. We also came pretty close to the 400 period moving average as well. Well, we are due to have seemed to have put in a bit of a base here. We've had this impulsive move to the upside up to the 200 period moving average due to the size of this candle, likely news related. We have not seen the follow through, so again, an impulsive move, not seen the follow through, seen resistance at 200 period moving average. We've traded below this 1961. We have come down. We do appear to be forming a bit of a base now. We are trading slightly above this 1961. So potentially we have a low there. We've got a higher low. So further upside continuation may possibly be the order of the day in light of the most recent trend being to the downside, forming a base, upward impulsive move, retracement, higher low, potentially heading upwards. So we'll potentially see how prices react to 1961, after which we'll see how prices react to 200 period moving average mark, that's here in blue. A break of which we were looking for prices to head towards 2030. We have to be aware of the 120 level, but 120.30 would be the level we're looking at, marked out here in red. It is an important level. If we do successfully navigate 120.30, we'll see our price react in around 120.80. The reason for looking at I'll stop my drawings on the charts. So the reason we are looking at 120.80 instead of 120.92, as we can see here, prices did come towards the 120.80, and we did see a sell-off in prices from 120.80 rather than 120.92. So, and again, if we do successfully navigate 120.80, again, we're looking for 20.92. Now, if we do see, I suppose volatility probably wouldn't take us through 2092, but the very next level to the upside is 21.78. And again, if we do see a breakdown in prices from where we are at present, if, say, for example, we were to, bear with me a second here, just going to scale this over a bit. So if we were to see prices trade upwards and we did break down potentially a lower high, again, we'll see our price react towards this most recent low, after which we're looking to see our price react towards 1910. If we did see a breakdown in prices before we move towards 120.30, what's that? We're looking to see our price react towards 1910. It is a major level marked out here in red. We're looking for a bounce possibly to 1961. If we did break down from 1910, we're looking for prices to head down towards 1862. And we're at 1961 at the moment. So about 100 or so pips below which we're looking for 1830. So 1862, 1830. Again, these levels we are looking for a potential bounce in prices. And with that said, that should pretty much wrap up the euro dollar analysis. Now, let's head over to... Let's just head over to the pound dollar. So we're going over to the pound dollar. Wow. Simply wow. So on this pound dollar, we were saying in last video that we were in a bit of a trading range. So we've came up towards this 136. We were in a bit of a trading range, 35.80 to 35.20 from the last video. As we can see, prices have oscillated between those 2 points. We did break down towards the level previously mentioned, 34.88. We did find support down at 34.88. We've got this very large candle, a rejection from 34.88. We've had a move upwards. We came up to 35.60. We weren't able to test these highs up here at 35.80. We've seen further sell side momentum. Now we are appearing to test the 35.20 from underneath. The fact that we weren't able to see the upside momentum to test the upper end. So we've got a high there, lower high, potentially downward momentum in prices. We weren't able to hold above this 200 period moving average. So if we do see a rejection from 35.20, again, we'll look to see our price react towards 34.88. 34.88 being tested so quickly after being tested just there to your left, possibly looking for a break. See our prices react towards 34.60. 34.60, the reason we're looking at 34.60 is because that's pretty much where the 400 period moving average marked out here in black is. If we did break down from 34.60, the very next level that we are looking at, should be 34.29. Yes, that's right. 34.29, we're looking for 34.29 to the downside. Major level marked out here in red. Now, if we did break down from 34.29, if we did see a strong sell side continuation, we would be the very next level that we are looking at would be 33.68. 33.68 to the downside, possibly in the far end of the range, unless we do have quite a bit of market volatility. So 33.68, if we were able to successfully navigate 400 period moving average as well as a major level at 34.29, and again to the upside, if we did see the breakout to the upside above this 35.20, we'll see our price direct towards a 200 period moving average just here, after which 35.80, 136, after which we're looking for 136.57, 136.57, the highs of 2017. And with that said, I shall pretty much wrap up the pound dollar. So now we're heading over to euro pound. Over to the euro pound we go. So on the euro pound, what can we see here? So we've had the highs of 89.14 tested. We've had a retracement down to support 88.51. We've had a move upwards, posted a low, higher low, tested the 89.14 again, broke down, posted a high, lower high. We've had a sell side continuation, not much of a reaction towards 88.51. We've come down to this weekly pivot in around this 88.20. Oscillated around there for a while before we saw buy side momentum come into the market from this 88.20. So from 88.20, we've traded through 88.51. Not much of a reaction. We've traded all the way up to the 200 period moving average, but we have seen a negative reaction from 200 period moving average. Now we've come down towards the 20. We appear to find support. We are currently oscillating around 88.51. If we do see, if we are able to hold above 88.51 and we use it as a springboard, as a support, again we're looking to see our price react towards the 200 period moving average. A break from which we're looking for 88.74 to see if we get a reaction at this minor weekly pivot. A break from there, we are looking to target 89.14, our most recent highs before we have seen sell-offs in the market. Now, if we did break down from where we are at present, again, it's logical to target. It's logical to target in around this 88.20. If we did break down from 88.20, let's just see where we would go. So these are levels that we are looking at. If we did break down from 88.20, we'll see our price react towards 88. After which we'll see our prices react towards 87, 83, marked out here in red. It is an important level, is 87, 83. And if we did break down from 87, 83, we would be looking to target possibly this 87, 50. Now, yeah, with that said, that should pretty much wrap up everything in regards to the 8750 is a weekly level marked out here in blue. And with that said, that should pretty much wrap up everything here on the euro pound. So let's just head over to the euro yen. Over to the euro yen we go. And let's get on here, correct? Oh, I guess it is correct. So on the euro yen, as you can see, we've had a strong persistent sell-off in the euro yen, and pretty much from in around this 36.38, which was a major level. We've come down towards this 35.60, minor reaction to the 400 period moving average as well. We've traded through this 34.50. We've traded through the upper end of the trading channel that we were in 2017, between the trading channel between 134 and 131.70. So we've traded below. We've traded back into the trading channel. We've traded below 134. We've had prices come down beneath 33.45. Is it? Yes, below 33.45. Let's just see how low did we go. So we traded as low as 133. Okay. So we've traded as low as. Oh, hold on a second here. I've just noticed I'm looking at the 30-minute charts. Let's change this to the hourly. There we are. So that's much better. Now, so we've mentioned these previous highs here now. So we've come down towards below this 33.45. We've currently seen a bit of buy side momentum come into this market, and from where we are at present. So if we do see the buy side upside continuation, we're looking to see our price direct towards this 134. Whether we do see a rejection from 134 all the way back down to 33.45, a break from which we're looking to see our price direct towards 32.83. let's just get the scaling here. So if we just change the scaling on here a bit, so these are the levels that we are looking at. So we did say, if we did see 34 hold it, we'll see a rejection. We're looking to see a price go down to 33.45, a break from which we're looking to see our prices reacting around 32.83. Now if we do see quite a bit of sell side momentum continuation, again 32.02, possibly a level that we would be looking at, depending on market volatility. If however we were able to break above this major level marked out here in red, we would be looking to possibly target 34.50, coupled with the 400 period moving average confluence, so we could potentially see some sell side momentum if we do head up towards 34.50. Sell side momentum taking all the way back down to 134, possibly 33.45. Again, if we did see quite a bit of strong buying momentum, again, if we did break above 34.50, we look at the 200 period moving average as well as 35.68. And I'd pretty much expect that to be the far end of the range on the euro yen. So with that said, that should pretty much wrap up the euro yen analysis. So now we're going to head over to the pound yen. So we're heading over to the pound yen and let's go. Let's get the scale on here correct. There we are. So let's get a pen. So on a pound yen, we were looking at the highs of 2017 in around 53.41. Prices came up towards these highs, oscillated a bit. Then we did see this. Let's just make sure we have it marked out there. So we saw this very prominent bearish candle, sell side continuation, sell side candle. Came down towards 52.85. Had a minor reaction. Sell side momentum took it down to 52. Small retracement back up to 200 period moving average. We've seen the sell side momentum taking us all the way down to 50.56, which is most important, because all this price action here is all in the past and no point making too much of it. So we've come down to 50.56, minor weekly level, minor weekly pivot. We are seeing a bit of a reaction at the moment. If we do see the buy side continuation, we'll see our price track towards 51.25, where we do see some sell side momentum taking us back down to 50.56, possibly lower. If we did break above this 51.25, we're looking to see our price react towards 400 period moving average, above which the 200 period moving average, and above that we're looking for 52.85. Again, major level marked out here in red. Now, if we did see those are levels to the upside. So if we did see a further breakdown in prices, where would we go? So these are levels that we are looking at if we did see a further breakdown in prices and downside continuation. So if we did turn around, or we did test 51.25 and we did have a turnaround, we were looking to target 49.78. A major level marked out here in red. We're looking for potential buy side momentum to come back into the market. Or if we did break down below this 49.78, we're looking to see our price react towards 49.10. And again, we're looking for buy side momentum to come back into the market. So we've mentioned all levels to the upside and the downside and the pound yen, and where we might likely go going forward. So that should pretty much wrap up the pound yen analysis. So we're going to head over to the US dollar Japanese yen. So let's get scale on here correct. So from the previous video, we did mention a possible head and shoulders developing, and so we've got a head there, we've got a shoulder there. We're concerned about this shoulder over here, this right shoulder, being slightly higher than the left shoulder. So there is a pattern. So we've got shoulder, head, shoulder, downside continuation, bearish chart pattern. So we have seen this sell side momentum continue in this market. We've not quite got down to this 111 at the moment. We are seeing a bit of buy side momentum coming to the market, which isn't unusual considering the size of this candle. So now let's just head on to the hourly charts. On the hourly charts, as you can see, we didn't quite get up to 13.56 I was hoping for. What we did do, however, was post a high, a lower high, a lower high, again lower high. So we've posted a series of lower highs there, suggesting that there is quite a bit of bearish momentum in the market. And as we can see, prices did trend downwards quite a bit. Now, where are we? So we have traded below this 1160. As we can see, we've tested it, had a rejection, tested it. We're having a bit of a rejection at the moment, but due to the frequency of tests in around this 1160, due to the frequency of tests, we're possibly looking for a break above 1160, retest. If it does hold, we'll be looking for prices to head towards 1215. If we are able to successfully trade above 1215, 1215 was previously support, possibly acting as resistance. On this occasion, we'll be looking to see our price react in around this 1160. If, however, we do break above 1215, we're looking for the major levels marked out here in red, 1252 and 1277. And again, these are areas where we could potentially see find resistance and sell side momentum into the market. Now, let's just see. Let's just clean this chart up a bit. If, however, we did see a breakdown in prices from where we are at present, the very next levels that we are looking at, there we are. So the very next levels that we are looking at, if we did see a breakdown in prices, is we're looking at 1073, where we do find support there, possible bounce in prices, a break from which we are looking for prices head down to 109.50, and again we're looking for bullish momentum to re-enter the market on the US dollar, Japanese yen. So I've pretty much covered everything here in regards to the US dollar, Japanese yen. The only thing of note here is possibly being aware of the 200 period moving average and 400 period moving average in and around the 1252 and 1277 level. So now we're going to head over to the US dollar CAD. So we're heading over to the US dollar CAD, and there we are. So the US dollar Canadian dollar, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the 4-hour charts. I tend not to use them a lot for analysis videos, but it's important for context here. So as we can see, we came up towards this 129, very strong major level. We have seen sell-offs from there previously. What we did see was this tremendous sell-off in the US dollar against the Canadian dollar from 129. We traded as low as below 124, so 500 or so pips. Wow, quite a bit. Now, we did see this pretty strong, persistent sell-off, so we have seen quite a bit of weakness on the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. We have had, however, this very strong bearish candle. Now, let's just change this to an hourly chart after showing that pretty strong trend. So on this hourly chart, we can see this very strong bearish candle, likely news related. We saw this move downwards, and ever since we have not revisited those lows. We've not revisited this candle's low. Some are suggesting that that the impulsiveness of this move was not an indicator of a continuation of the trend. It was somewhat exhaustive. And as we have seen, is a further consistent move to the upside on the US dollar against the Canadian dollar. So we've seen the we've seen the slow continuation to the upside. We are seeing a bit more momentum at present. We broke above the 200 period moving average. We do appear to be having more of a pullback at the moment than a reversal. So we do look poised for more upside continuation. We're looking to see our price react around 126.22, where we do see some sell side momentum coming into the market, possibly taking us back down to the 200 period moving average, as well as 25.30, a break from which we're looking to see our price react in around this 125. If, however, we do break above 26.22, we're looking to see our price react in around 26.70 and 21.27. And again, up at these areas, we are looking for potential for sell side momentum to come back into the market. If, however, the what I'm expecting, the bullish move to the upside, does not continue, I look to see our price react in around this 125 level, a break from which we have to be aware of 124.86. Further downside continuation could possibly take us down to 24.26, and a break from there we'll be looking for 23.34 in regards to the US dollar Canadian dollar. And so we've mentioned all levels to the upside, downside, and possibly be aware of the 400 period moving average above, currently sitting in around the 126.22 level. Now, let's that should pretty much wrap up the US dollar CAD analysis. Now, let's just head outwards, and we're going to head over to the XAU USD, also known as gold. XAU, and the charts are taking a long time. Let's just zoom in. Just going to change the charts to the hourly chart. There we are. So after 120.25 has proven itself to be quite prominent and somewhat problematic for prices, I'm going to graduate it to a significant level. So I'm just going to change the color here to red in light of the graduation. 120.25. Let's just make sure we get it correct. 120.25. It's not noticeable in the charts. Lockhart drawings in on the charts. So let's have a look what happened with prices earlier. So we had prices break out towards this 125. Well, essentially did get up to 125. Had a breakdown in prices, oscillated in around this 1320. We have seen the breakdown in prices down towards this 1310. In around 1310, we do appear to have found support. Had a test, had another test before we saw further upside continuation here of this pretty overall bullish move on the XAU USD. Let's bear with me a second here. On the XAU USD, so we've had this upside continuation, possibly a news-related event, because due to the size of the candles and the fact that we have headed up towards this 127.50 and have seen a bit of a sell-off. So we've traveled quite a bit here on the XAU USD for it to be non-news related. So we did see this very strong move to the upside, but underlining the importance of the 1320 is the fact that we have seen prices spike upwards. So again, slightly above our most recent high, and we've seen sell side momentum come back into the market again. We've seen sell side momentum taking us below this 1320 as well. So we do appear to have found support here at the 20 period moving average. So we do appear to be putting in a higher low. So we've got our pretty much like a triple bottom here. We have headed upwards. We appear to be putting in a higher low. So we've got a low, higher low potentially. We're looking for prices to head towards that 130. Well, 1330 level. So we'll see a price direct towards 1320, whether it does prove problematic and we do see further sell side continuation to the downside, or if we are able to break above this 1320, we are looking for prices to head towards the very next major level we've got marked out here is 30. I'm just going to have to change that chart. Just bear with me a second here. It's around 3450. Just bear with me a second. It's with 3451. Let's just see. 3451. So if we are able to successfully navigate the 1320 level, and I see no reason why not. 1320 has been tested quite frequently over a short period of time. So the next tests or so should possibly see a break above this 1320 level. Now, if we do see the break above 1320, again we'll be targeting this 1334.50 to the upside. A break from there, we are looking to target 1340. Again, it's about $6 away from the 1330 34, but 1340 will be the next level that we are looking at. If we do find resistance at 1320, we'll see our prices reacting around 1358, a break from which we're looking to see our prices reacting around 1305, where we do find support and buy side continuation, or a breakdown from which we're looking to see our prices reacting around 1296. Would we break down to 1296 from where we are at present? I wouldn't say it's possible, to be honest, but 1296 possibly far in the range depending on market volatility. More likely, however, would be in around this 1300 or 1305 if we did have quite a bit of bearish volatility to the downside. Now, with that said, I should pretty much cover everything in regards to the old XAU USD. In short, we do look poised for more upside continuation. Now, we are going to head over to the USOIL and get scale on here, correct? And on USOIL, what we can see here is come down, found support 61.48. We've had a spike up to test 62.54. We've had a rejection from 62.54. We've had a retracement, so we've got a low here, higher low, upside continuation, break of 62.54. We are into this period of consolidation before we head up towards that 63.76 for a test of 63.76. If we do head up to 63.76 and we do see some sell side momentum come back into the market 63.76, we could possibly look to targets in around 62.54 for a potential bounce and further upside continuation. But if we have our further continuation of our most recent trends being to the upside on oil, we possibly might see a retracement before we do break above this 63.76. So we have a bit of a pullback before we see a move up towards that 63.76. Now let's just have a look at bear with me a second here. So we're going to change this over to the 4-hourly chart, and let's just have a look. So there we are. So if we did break above 63.76, it is a pretty big area we're looking at. So the very next level that I would be looking for is 65.60 from 63.76. If we are able to break and hold above 63.76, we'll be looking for price to head towards that 65.60. If I ever do break down again, 62.54 should come into focus. Possibly depending on market volatility, 61.48. Those are pretty much the levels that we are looking for to the. Those are pretty much the levels that we are looking at to the old downside. I'm just going to have another look at the hourly charts. And again, there aren't any dynamic levels of support and resistance, say the 200 and 400 period moving average close by. So yeah, further upside continuation does appear to be the order of the day in regards to US oil. And with that said, that should wrap up the US oil analysis. Now, I'm sorry about dilly-dallying there. So let's head over to the old US 30, and what can we see here? Now, we've put in a bit of a high, and let's just mark that out. Just bear with me a second there. Oh. I'm just gonna get it right there. There we are. So, lock my drawings in. Now, what we can see here is we're seeing a bit of a trading range. So we are seeing a bit of a trading range develop here on the US 30. We've seen this move upwards. We've seen a rejection of 25,439. We've had a pullback, not quite down to 200 period moving average. We've had a brief move upwards, pullback, brief move upwards, and another pullback. So there is a bit of a stepping motion in regards to the US 30. But we do look poised. I'm not sure if we are going to see further quite a bit of a upside momentum. Now, if we do see the upside momentum, so if we are operating in light of the most recent trend, we'll see prices head up towards that 25,439. However, if we do see a breakdown in price from where we are at present, we'll see our prices rack in around the 25,300. A break from which we're looking for 25,200 and 25,101. But ultimately, we are looking for 25,101, as it is the most prominent level to the downside. Also, again, if we did see the further downside continuation, we'll see our price react in around the 200 period moving average, as well as the 25,000 level in regards to the old US 30. So, with that said, I think we've pretty much covered everything. Covered levels to the upside. Not quite. Yes, we have covered levels to the upside as well as downside. And what we do expecting prices. So we'll see our price reacting if we do have another test of these 25,439. And yeah. So we'll see what happens on the test of the most recent highs of 25,439. Our most recent trend would suggest that we are possibly heading up there for another test. A break of which, again, we've mentioned level to the upside, and a breakdown. We see how prices or with breakdown we'll see. We've mentioned levels that we are targeting before we head to major horizontal levels of support. We mentioned the dynamic levels as well as the horizontal levels. Now, with that said, I should pretty much just cover everything in regards to US 30s. Rambled on a bit more than I should, but again, in short, we're looking for further upside continuation. We'll see a price direct towards our most recent highs around 25,439. If we do see a breakdown, however, we've mentioned the previous swings in the market that we are looking at. Let's just put another swing in the market. So I'm just going to put another swing in the market, which was just about there. And we're just going to change the color to a light blue. So, yeah, so we'll target our most recent swing lows before we look at 25,101. Below 25,101, we'll see our prices react towards a 200 period moving average as well as 25,000. I can't anticipate pricing moving much beyond 25,000, so I'd expect 25,000 to be far in the range. If we did break out to the upside above these 25,439, we were looking to possibly target 25,600. And with that said, that should pretty much wrap up everything in regards to the US 30. Now, this is the final instrument assessed. And yeah, thanks for watching this market analysis video.